Hi. You know, I hear from viewers of this channel, and thank you very much, those of you who subscribed and liked these videos. But I hear from some of you that some of these things that I've been showing off and on show other weird things that I've done, and maybe I should talk about that. So I'm going to talk about the keel neck today, the adjustable keel neck specifically. I have also made it in non-adjustable forms and done different styles of adjustment. But I wanted to show the one that I've done the most of, which is the adjustable keel neck. So without further ado, let's jump into this. Okay, that was C, high C. And this video is about an innovation that I figured out over 10 years ago. And the whole point was to get an acoustic guitar access to the higher frets in a better way than what was available at the time and still is generally available. And that is what I called the keel neck. Now, it's actually not a keel, but it kind of resembles one in the sense of a nautical, ship kind of keel. Now, I'm going to show what this looks like apart so that you can actually see better what it does. But coupled with this angled cutaway that you should be able to see here, it allows for the player to get all the way up. Now, I don't have this set up as an electric guitar. It's set up as an acoustic, so it's a little harder to play up here. But you should get the idea. So let's look at the pieces and see what this thing really is. Now, like I said, this is something I was doing about 10 years ago, and I spent quite a bit of time on it and made close to a dozen instruments, of which I have a few. And then I've continued this on occasionally on a few other instruments that I've made. But let's look at generally how this is made. You should be able to see the contour here as it comes down and follows into the shape of the rest of the neck. Okay, so this is one half of the neck goes straight up, the other half curves in like that. Okay, should be fairly straightforward to tell what's going on there. Now, it makes for a rather large side here, and that attaches to the guitar, and it attaches through holes in what amounts to a head block. It's not really a traditional head block, but let's look at that. Now, this is a very similar instrument, not exactly the same as that one, but you can see what we've got here. We have a few holes. One is up here, one is here. This is the top, of course, so we've got one here. I actually prefer it a little bit closer to the 14th fret, but you have a head in there for the bolt. And then down here we have two slots basically for two more bolts. This particular hole up here becomes the pivot point. Okay, and then these two loosened up from the inside, and you have to come in here to do that. Allow the whole neck to pivot like that, so it makes adjusting the neck angle considerably easier. The biggest hassle, of course, is getting in here with the Allen wrench to actually, loosen these bolts up. And then at the bottom here, you should be able to see, hopefully, there's a screw coming up in here. Is that visible? You can sort of see it in there. You should be able to see the screw sticking up in there. And that little screw hits this little insert, this metal insert. I usually use brass there. It looks like this was something chrome bladed. So at any rate, that allows you a stop so that the neck doesn't just continue on. I've found out through experimentation that it really helps to have a stop. Otherwise, over time, with changes in humidity, and this is all wood, so it does change, dimensions with humidity, that this would loosen up somewhat and actually shift. And you don't want that happening. So that's what we've got there. Okay, the three brass nuts, as it were, in here. Now this is a fairly nice few pieces of curly Honduras mahogany, which is kind of nice. You probably can see the truss rod here, and it goes up here. This is all three pieces of this mahogany glued together and then cut out in this shape. Now, because of the inherent weakness at the peg head, I do have a rather large volute here to help strengthen that, and I do think it's kind of an elegant look. So that's the basic concept behind this whole thing. Hopefully this gives you some ideas how this works. I'm going to look for a few still photos that I might have that show the interior part of this and how that's set up. And if I do, I will get that in place and show it to you.